Okay, hey everyone. Good to be here. Welcome to the seventh class of the MPS mindfulness. So this is my favorite subject. We're going to talk about being mindful of our thoughts. So for the most part, we've used mindfulness sort of as a way to, notice when we're activated, and then we can bring our attention to places that soothe us, right? Present moment experiences that soothe us. So like our breath or gravity, um, um, what other ones have we used? Sound, our contact points, the insides of our palms. And then last week we did positive experiences, right? Feeling the sensation when things are good, we feel that happy feeling, and then feel into that. So, and I've always said that when we're distracted by our thoughts, the practice was, okay, we bring our attention to that anchor. And then if our mind wanders onto thoughts, we just kind of notice it and gently come back. Well, this week, what we're going to do is actually bring our attention to our thoughts when our minds wander. Okay. Um, so being mindful of our thoughts is a really deep practice. It's really important because our thoughts have a tendency to manipulate us. So we want to be able to work with them and unhook from them. The biggest myth about mindfulness is actually that we stop our thoughts, which we can't stop our thoughts. That would be like me saying, you have to stop hearing or stop seeing with your eyes open, right? Our mind thinks, it happens all the time. And so we can't stop our thoughts, but yet um, our thoughts affect us, right? So we have to understand the purpose of our thoughts and learn how to work with them. And mindfulness is a great way to learn how to work with them. Okay, so let me share my screen here. Okay, so let's talk about some facts about thoughts. So the scientists say we have about 50,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. Now at 80,000, we're having almost one per second, so a little more than a second. 95% of our thoughts are repetitive. So that means we're pretty much thinking the same thing every day. What am I going to do? I mean, if you have some negative self-talk, that's repetitive. So most of our thoughts are something we've thought already. 70 to 80% of these thoughts are negative. So that's that negativity bias that I talk about all the time in action, right? They're mostly doing the, oh no, this could be a bad, thing. Everything's scary in the news. I'm not doing great on math, right? So you're having 70 to 80% of those thoughts are negative. Now, a thought is just a neural process. What happens is we get input or stimuli from, through our senses, the smell, the sights, sounds, people talking to us, and then a neuron forms a thought. So, yeah, it's just a kind of neural flash type of thing. Now, thoughts come in words and pictures. So let's do this for a minute. Just for a sec, close your eyes and imagine how you got online today to do this video. So like, were you able to just open your computer, or did you have to go find the charger? Did you have to set up a little desk, or see if you can imagine that process all the way to the point where you clicked on the video. Okay, so now you can open your eyes now. Now, if you saw the image of you, what you did, that's thoughts in pictures. Okay, so here's the next one. Close your eyes for a minute and then just say your name to yourself. Okay, so you can open your eyes. If you heard something, and you didn't really hear it through your ears, right? But you kind of had a sense of that word, right? You didn't see an image, but you had the word. That's thoughts in words. So thoughts come in pictures and words. And then there's many types of thoughts, many more than I wrote here, but we'll break it down into three categories. Past thoughts, which is like remembering or regret, that type of thing, right? You're thinking about the past. future thoughts, again, planning, speculation, worry. So that's all about the future. And then stuff that you're doing right now, which is like figuring stuff out, computing, doing your math homework, or judging, is this good or bad, or figuring out stuff. Okay. So I call that analysis. Now, here's our challenge with thoughts. Think about it. And I do my math here. If we're having 50,000 thoughts a day, we'll be conservative on the low end. And 70% of them are negative. We're having 35,000 negative thoughts a day. It's a lot, right? And you can even not be conservative, and then you're 80,000 thoughts at 80% negative, and then you're at 64,000 thoughts a day that are negative. The thing is that these thoughts, that your thoughts affect your mood and your brain chemistry, right? And your physiology. So if you wake up and you have something exciting to do today and you're thinking about it, I can't wait, you're going to feel good, right? If you wake up and you're, facing a math exam or something that you don't like, you're worried about, your mood is not going to be good. So our thoughts affect our mood and our brain chemistry and all of it. So that's important, right? The thing is that our thoughts, they're just these neural flashes, but they're based on our perceptions, our imagination, and our assumptions. So they're not necessarily true. They're more like stories. They're based on our perceptions and our imaginations. Now, with the exception of the computational ones where, you're saying 2 times 2 is 4, that's a fact. But many, I can't give you a percentage. Well, what I can do is all of our thoughts are based on our perceptions and our imagination and our assumptions. But that makes many of them, a vast total of them, not true facts. Not facts. They're not facts at all. They're thoughts. And so they're more like stories because they're based on our assumptions. What happens is it's tricky because most of the time we don't even know we're thinking. We're just swimming in our thoughts all the time. We have no idea that we're thinking. Just we're walking around and these 64,000 negative comments are popping up out of nowhere. Well, you can't really do math. And remember, because you flunked that other math class and that one teacher told you weren't good at it. And you struggled with the last homework assignment, so you're not going to do math. You should probably quit, just like you did, right? These thoughts will affect how we feel and how we are in the world, right? So we'll make our critical decisions. Oh, right, I should quit math. I should even change my whole major because it's based on math and I can't do math, right? We need to be careful of the thoughts we think. We're not careful. We need to know what their place is and what they're doing so that we can work with them, right? And in that sense that they talk us all the time and they're mostly negative and they're based on our perceptions, that's how we get manipulated by our own thoughts. So what can we do to manage these thoughts, right? Can we stop our thoughts? No, remember I said in the beginning that you can't stop your thoughts. It would be like saying stop hearing. So we can't do that. Can we change our thoughts? Yes, we can change our thoughts. But with the neuroplasticity and you have a new pathway. So I'm not good at math, right? That's your neural pathway that you've had for a long time because you've struggled with math. Okay, so every time you're doing homework, you have that thought, I'm not good at math. Now you can change that thought. Okay, first you have to know you're thinking, having a thought, then I'll change that thing. No, I'm great at math, or I'm surviving this math class. I'm doing okay, right? And you have to do that over and over and over. Over time, your thought will change. My point is that yes, we can change our thoughts, but it's a really difficult long-term process, right? But with neuroplasticity, we can change our thoughts. But what we can do using mindfulness, an easier way, is change our relationship to thoughts. It means that we can know them for what they are, sort of a story, and we can watch them happen, sort of like watching a movie, right? We can say, oh, I'm having all these thoughts that, I got to buy milk. I'm not good at math. Did I get that job, right? I should call my mom, right? So how we do that is know that we're thinking. We be mindful of the fact that we're thinking, and then we say, oh, these are my thoughts, and I could check them out from afar. So, like when you go to a movie, right? Now, I always bring up Jurassic Park because it was the movie that gave me the most. I remember clearly being really afraid and thinking, thank goodness there are no dinosaurs outside. So if you seen, it's the Jurassic Park, it's about the dinosaurs. It was so scary. Of course, I was younger then. And, I remember feeling so scared in the movie theater, but I was able to have distance from that fear. So even though my body was activated by the story, so if you hear yourself say, I'm not good at math, your body might be activated by that story. You can also say, and that's just a thought. Like I said, this is just a movie. So when I go outside, there's no dinosaurs running down the street that's going to get me. So it helped calm me, right? Because if I really thought there were dinosaurs outside, I'd be terrified in the theater and outside of the theater. But because I knew that it was a story, I was able to have some detachment from that activation. Same thing with thoughts. So if you hear yourself say, I'm not good at math, you will have an activation in your body, but um, but then if you know it's a story based on your perceptions and experiences and stuff like that, then you can say, oh, I'm just thinking that, and you can have some detachment from that feeling that thought would cause you. So basically it looks like this. If you're having a thought, right, it can affect how you feel. So I'm not good at math, I feel really bad. But if you're able to notice that you're having a thought, if you get that distance, oh yeah, there's that thought of I'm not good at math, you have some distance. And again, it affects the way you feel. You feel differently about the story because you're not in it. Okay. I hope that is clear. And again, if it's difficult, then feel free to put some comments or questions or email me. Um, it, Mindfulness of thoughts is my favorite subject because that's where I really learned to get some true deactivation, because not only did I have the skills to bring my attention to places that soothed me, but then I also had a way to work with those thoughts that were creating some of that activation. So I had two skills to work with my nervousness and my anxiety, right? So anyway, that's me and my happiness about mindfulness of thoughts. So let's do a practice, and we're actually just going to be mindful of our thoughts. Okay, so go ahead and, you can go ahead and either get comfortable as a, your posture, or you can use the mindful posture, which is alert, but upright, but relaxed. How we say alert, upright, but relaxed. Okay, and so go ahead and let your eyes close if that feels good, or have just sort of a low gaze in front of you. And as we're settling down, if deep breaths feel good, go ahead and take a few of those. And so now just feel into the sensation of the chair holding you up, or the couch. Noticing that you're sitting, noticing that your body is touching places on the chair. and feeling into those sensations. Noticing what your hands are touching. And just finding those contact points, the sensation of those contact points. So now I invite you to choose the anchor of your choice, right? We've practiced many. Like I said, the gravity, the sound, the contact points. Body, a part of the body. Find that anchor. Oh, the breath. I think we said the breath. Sensation of breathing in, breathing out. Find the anchor of your choice and then just gently let your attention be there to the best of your ability. And now this time, if your mind wanders and you start thinking and you notice that, then go ahead and check out that thought. Meaning, see if it's a word or a picture, if you're thinking it in words or in pictures. And also maybe identify if it's about the past or the future, or are you trying to analyze something? Sometimes when we actually focus in on the thought itself, it just kind of dissipates. And if that happens, just gently come back to your anchor. Bring your attention back to your anchor until the next thought arises. So I'm going to give you maybe a good 2 minutes to go ahead and do this practice. We're have our attention on our anchor that we chose. One anchor, don't change the anchors in the middle of the practice. And then if and when our mind wanders and we notice that we're thinking, go ahead and identify that thought. Picture or words, future, past, analyzing. And just, check yourself out thinking. And then if it passes or you're finished looking at it closely, gently return your attention to your anchor. Usually, the more quiet we are, the more apt we are to think sometimes because the mind gets bored. Okay, so wherever you are in your thought process, if you were in a thought there, checking that out, or you had your attention on your anchor, please shift your attention now to just the sensation of your whole body sitting. Noticing the contact points to the chair. Noticing your body sort of in time and space, hearing the sounds in your room, hearing my voice. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and shift your body, wiggle your toes or fingers, roll your shoulders, whatever it is that brings you sort of back here. And when you feel ready, come back to the screen. Okay, thanks. So that's being mindful of your thoughts. And it really is sort of profound, because once we can shift our perception of our thoughts from, oh, this is reality, to those are just thoughts, then we have more skill in managing and sifting through the ones that we want to keep and the ones that will help us, right? Because thoughts, man, they can do a number on us, right? But some of them are very good, but we want to have the ability to sort through them. And the best way to do that is to be mindful of them. And so we practice this more often. So even if you're trying to be quiet, let's say you're trying to sit for a minute because you want to calm down, right? But your mind is racing, racing, racing. You can, bring your attention back, say, oh, those are the thoughts, and come back, to your anchor. Or you can go, okay, let me check out those thoughts. It might feel less activating to you to just check out the thoughts. And then again, oh, it's in a picture. I'm having a picture of me, you know, uh, you know, winning some sort of contest or something, a lottery. I've imagined that many times, and check it out. And here's what it's feeling. Again, you're still doing mindfulness because you're bringing your attention to the present moment of thinking. And you're not lost in thought because you're aware of what's happening, right? You're not like, oh, I'm winning the lottery, look at me. And I think you're saying, oh, I'm thinking about winning the lottery, it's making me happy. And it's all in pictures. And so you have the ability, you are watching your thoughts, and that is not being lost in the thoughts. And again, in that sense, it's like watching the movie, watching the story. You're less likely to be manipulated and much more able to manage those thoughts. Okay, so I appreciate you coming here. I just want to make sure, I think I had a little homework thing here. Yeah, just to pay attention to thinking, right? If you catch yourself thinking over the day, you're driving somewhere and you're like, oh, I got to do that thing. Say, all right, I'm thinking again. And is it thoughts? Is it pictures? Is it future, past? And then, of course, I'm sorry, sounds or pictures. And then, of course, that's more practice, right? And being mindful of your thoughts, because the more we practice, the easier it gets, right? And the better we get at it, the more skillful we get. Okay. And also you can, like, if you're feeling down at some point, if something, you can notice your thoughts. What are the thoughts saying? And you can bring your attention to the fact of labeling them and identifying them. And again, sort of maybe coming back to your an anchor so that you can feel a little better. Okay. Okay. So thanks again. We only have 2 more after this. So I'll be interested to see if you have any questions or thoughts, and have a good day. Bye-bye.